Hello, Flickering Myth family, and let's get into a bit of a shark movie summer. Yes, my name is EJ Marino, and if you know anything about me, Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. Not my favorite shark movie, not my favorite horror movie. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. And since that day, I have looked for a shark movie, a movie anywhere near what Jaws gave me in terms of action, adventure, in terms of emotions, in terms of character, in terms of shark goodness. I have not really seen a movie quite like that's given me that feeling ever. I like Deep Blue Sea, I like The Shallows, but they're okay. They're fun, they do what they need to do. Sometimes they don't feel like real movies. Come on, Deep is Bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin. John Williams wasn't making LL Cool J songs back in 1975, but Dangerous Animals is the first time in a long time that I feel like the shark movie genre has life. I cannot believe that this one is a real movie. That's the biggest thing I walked away from going, this movie feels like they put effort. This movie feels real, that there was a script supervisor on set at all times, that maybe craft services was pretty good for this movie. Yeah, I have so many things to say about this movie. We're going to get into Dangerous Animals and why I think this is the best shark movie we've seen since Jaws. Horror is my favorite genre. Shark movies are something I love. So what happens when we get the good mix of both? What happens when we find a shark movie that is a good horror movie that's also just a good movie altogether? That's the key component to the situation, is getting all three things to work. To have a good movie is hard for a shark movie. I've seen Ghost Shark, I've seen Sharknado, I've seen countless, Megalodon 3, the one with John Barrowman or whatever. Like, I have seen some crazy shark movies in my day. I love them. I appreciate the worst. I appreciate the best, obviously. But I have not seen one that has really worked in a good category. We have maybe The Shallows and Deep Blue Sea. Those are good shark movies. Then we get to good horror movies. Sure, The Shallows is pretty fun. Blake Lively is a decent final girl for a shark movie. And look, Deep Blue Sea, I love it. It was a movie like 1999, 2000 that I saw way too much. I'm not going to shade it too much, but it's also just not a good movie on its own. So it's like good shark movie, then good movie altogether. Like, you know what I mean? Good horror movie. There's just all these like key components. Then Dangerous Animal comes, and I'm like, yo, this is a good shark movie because, one, we're fixing some shark issues that we'll get into in a moment, but we're also making a good horror movie because I find Courtney to be this terrifying serial killer that is using sharks with this weird twisted backstory he has. I love all of these pieces together as a horror movie, and then by the end of it, I'm like, wow, good cinematography, really good acting, really good production design, just an overall good vibe. This is the trifecta. This is truly a banger of a movie. Director Sean Byrne is not in this journey alone because he has great actors making this film work. Hassie Harrison is a great find that I need to see her in more. I need to see this woman in horror movies and action movies. Cast her in a new Hunger Games, cast her in a new slasher movie, cast her in everything. She is so precocious and so badass, but so endearing and real and honest. This character kind of, it almost gives me like the Australian version of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Like, just this like surfer girl. She's cool, she's flippant, she's not really into anything, she's a free spirit, but then she's like real and she's honest, and I understand her journey. So like, a great performance, a great written performance. Then we have like the supporting people around here. Like, I did not understand Courtney as a slasher villain, as a serial killer at all. I didn't think that was going to work. I was like, Courtney, I like him. I'm a Captain Boomerang Suicide Squad defender. I get it. But this movie, this role, and then the movie started and I'm like, never mind, he's eating. He's so good. That baby shark scene where he's just, Mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark. I'm like, this man's a freak. This man's a weirdo. This man is exactly what I wanted. Then we just get on into the performance, and then he has that naked, almost in the underwear dance number, and I'm like, psychopath. This is a demo reel of what Jai Courtney can do in this half of his career. Like, he's gonna give me a little bit of what Russell Crowe has done. It's just like, oh, do I need to be crazy man? Is that what is going to work for me? Give him all of the roles in this. We also can't forget our other key component in the acting department, Josh Heuston, who is a great, again, addition to this. There's another character, her name's going to be Heather. She's there. She's there to up the body count, sure, great. But like, again, this dynamic with our lead character played by Hassie, Zephyr. We have Tucker, Jai Courtney's character, and we have Moses, Josh's character, and all of these people working together just to bring the best out of the story. Again, Sean Byrne's directing is great. The script is great as well. I love what the writer could do with mixing so much of the slasher element with the shark movie element, with also this kind of journey this woman goes through with Zephyr's journey and all that. It's just all of these key components, and like Tucker's backstory, way more interesting and worked better with the themes of the film, and worked better as a slasher, a shark movie killer as well. It's just all very interesting. It's well written, well acted, well delivered, and I love seeing Moses, Tucker, and Zephyr kind of work together in this like this trio of characters, and how scary Tucker is, and Jai Courtney's amazing turn in this, but how Moses is an interesting role in this, because he truly feels like in the 1980s what the woman character would have been. It's great. And then again, Hassie as Zephyr, one of my favorite performances I've seen this year, one of my favorite like breakout roles I've seen in quite some time. Again, cast her in everything. I am down for that right now. So one of the things that this movie does get a bit of a point for, and it's something that Jaws started and that this movie is trying to fix. So Dangerous Animals is a movie about sharks that have sharks eating people, but it's not in the way you think, where it is one shark like menacingly hunting people down, or multiple sharks. If you remember Shark Night, where they had like all of them in a lake, and the sharks were in a lake, and don't get me started in that, the saltwater lake. Anyways, Shark Night, again, list of not good shark movie, not good movie, fun horror movie. Anyways, so yeah, we have like this plot with Dangerous Animals that the sharks are a key component to the kills and everything like that, but it's not just making them out to be this monstrous thing. We know sharks do not kill as many people in a year as things like cancer, as things as drunk driving, as things like shootings. There are so many other things in this world that kill people before sharks. Plane crashes, I'm sure maybe have more plane crashes in 1 year than we have shark, like just straight up shark kills. So it's interesting to see what sharks have this reputation of being these dangerous monsters, and Jaws is a really big key component to starting that fear. It's a deep-rooted fear a lot of us have. And I'm not saying that sharks without Jaws wouldn't be scary. Look at the teeth. Look at the size. They're scary. These are like prehistoric monsters that I feel like they've been here for the dawn of time, and they're crazy killing machines. But they're not serial killers. They're not slashers. So giving the Jai Courtney Tucker character here to be a man who is so obsessed with sharks. He had a incident when he was a child, and that kind of morphed his weird perception and looks at sharks as these godlike figures that can give and take life. And truly, that's not what they're about. That's not how that rolls, and that's not what you should be doing with sharks. And at one point, we see the sharks kind of go, yeah, what are we doing? That's not what we do. Like, what are you trying? And I loved seeing him, just his journey with the sharks. And I think that, again, made the shark characters more interesting and made them less of a demonized villainous threat that we saw from Jaws, and then we saw continuously after that with so many other things. I mean, Orca, Alligator, these other movies that turn Piranha, that turned what would be just a normal animal into this villainous crazy thing. I mean, Cocaine Bear a couple years ago, like, you know what I mean? Like, we have this genre that Jaws started of making somewhat dangerous animal into something even more scary. But I love that Dangerous Animals says, I get that, sure, but let's tweak that, let's fix that, let's do something a bit different. It's refreshing, it's new, and it really did, again, made me appreciate what this movie can do. Australian horror films, you get me thinking, you get me enjoying the kills, you give me great slang and accents, and Jesus Christ, the way people talk in this movie, I'm like, sometimes with Jai Courtney, I'm like, is that your real accent? Because it just, again, I love what this movie does. Australian horror films are such a soft spot in my heart, but then seeing what they can do with sharks, which sharks are such a big part of Australian surf and Australian oceans, it's just, it's genius. It's smart. It's not what I thought this movie would be when I sat down for it, but it blew me away in the best possible way. You definitely need to run out to the cinema to see this film. I think it comes out in Australia in the middle of the month, actually probably quite soon. And also, if you're in the States, it's been out for quite some time. I wanted to see it early, and I was like, oh, I can't make it out to the cinema. I'm, moving, I'm relocating, I'm doing different things. And then I was able to get it for the Critics' Choice Awards, Super Awards, for your consideration. I'm considering. Oh, baby, it is being considered when I'm making a ballot of horror actors and horror movies this year. This is on the list. This is on the list. That's all I will say. All right, guys, what did you think of Dangerous Animals? Did you love it as much as I did? Do you think it is a shark movie worthy of being placed next to Jaws, or is it down there at the bottom of the ocean with some of the craziest ones? Let me know what you think. I want to know all your feelings. I want to know your favorite shark movie. If it's not Jaws, if it's not Deep Blue Sea, if it's not now Dangerous Animals, what is your favorite shark movie? Share it down in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth, and let's talk about shark movies, and specifically, let's talk about this awesome Dangerous Animals right down below.